Hi, this is Lindsay from The Homey Life, and today I wanted to talk about 4 natural things I think all chicken keepers should have to keep their chickens healthy and happy. And most of these things you probably already have at home. So let's get started with thing number 1, which is apple cider vinegar. So the apple cider vinegar that you want will be the raw apple cider vinegar with the mother still in it. That stuff has the good bacteria in it, probiotics for your chickens, it has minerals and vitamins. If you buy the other kind of apple cider vinegar, it's already been pasteurized, that doesn't have the mother, you're not going to get any of the benefits that you're really wanting for your chickens. The bacteria and all that have already been killed off. How I give it to my chickens, I do it once a week. I will put about 1 to 2 teaspoons in a gallon of water into their water container, and I let them drink that for several days, and then I will change over the water to just fresh water without apple cider vinegar in it. And I do that every single week for them to keep them healthy and strong. Apple cider vinegar has been found to reduce things like E. coli, coccidiosis, and salmonella in your chicken's guts. It also has found to improve their good bacteria in the chicken's gut. The more good bacteria they have, the more they're able to absorb more nutrients from their food. So the food you're feeding them, they're getting more benefit from it, helps them to grow stronger, helps their immune system, and you can also get better egg production. You can do this from from little tiny chicks, but you would do a ratio of a lot smaller, like 0.5% of the apple cider vinegar in their water. So you can start it from baby chicks all the way up to adult chicks, which they would obviously get a larger amount of apple cider vinegar. So I think this is a really, really great way of keeping your chickens healthy and strong and preventing certain bacteria from growing in their stomach and getting them sick. The second thing I think all chicken keepers should have is food grade diatomaceous earth. Now, diatomaceous earth is just fossilized algae. Yeah, that's what it is. It's fossilized algae that has been finely ground up. There are different thicknesses, so I'd go for if you're gonna feed it to them, I like to go for the thinner, more fine things, definitely for dusting into their pens and coops. But what it does, so what your fossilized algae will do is it's really, really high in silica, which is great for your chicken's health. But also the diatomons that are in diatomaceous earth are very sharp. And what it does is it cuts the exoskeletons of the bugs, and it dries them out, which kills them. So it's really good for, if they ingest it, killing off worms and parasites. Great for sprinkling around your coop and in your pen for getting rid of things like mites and lice and bugs that you don't really want in the area. It helps with the chicken's coop smell as well. I have found a lot less bugs by just pouring a little bit all over the coop and all over the pen. And when they dust bathe, they put that into their feathers as well, which is really great to get rid of them if they do happen to have any mites or lice on them. It will help to get rid of those as well. So how I add that into the food is I add a 1/4 cup of diatomaceous earth into 5 cups worth of food. So that's kind of my ratio. You want it to be about the 5% ratio mark for adding food grade diatomaceous earth into your food. The finer stuff also will help to get rid of any weevils or anything like that in the food that might grow, as it will cut the exoskeletons and shrivel them up and get rid of the eggs. So it's a really great way of also preserving the food. So I think food grade diatomaceous earth is just a really another excellent way of keeping your chickens healthy and happy and your coop clean in a very natural way. Third thing I think is really nice to have for your chickens is Epsom salts. Not only is it great for us to use, but it's really, really beneficial and helpful for your chickens as well. So I would just add, you can give it to them internally, or you could bathe it on your chickens. So if you were to give it to them internally, you would do about 1 teaspoon in a cup of water, mix that solution, and give them about 2 syringes or so full of that liquid. You want to do it really slowly so that they're actually drinking it. If you're finding your chicken is very dehydrated and not drinking a lot, they'll get some extra minerals that way, and it will also help to flush out any toxins in your chickens. Another way though is if you find your chicken is egg bound, it's really good to soak them in an Epsom salt bath. And you just put some Epsom salt in some water, some warm water, and put your little chicken in there and let them soak for about 15 minutes, because the magnesium really helps to relax the chickens, loosen them all up so that they can release the egg. So if the chicken's egg bound, that's a really great way of doing it as well. I also like Epsom salts because it helps to just clean up scratches and bumps. So if they have little scrapes or anything like that and you want to get rid of the infection just to help a bit, I put them into an Epsom salt bath and just soak that area. And I also use it to help clean out any puffy eyes on your chickens as well. So if they're getting weeping eyes or you've noticed puffy eyes, I just put a little bit of Epsom salt in water diluted already, all dissolved up with some cotton ball, and I'll just rub that against their eye, and that heals it up really, really quickly. So Epsom salts are just another excellent way of helping your chickens. The last thing I really like to have for my chickens, as well as for my own health, is iodine. So it's really beneficial for your chickens. You can add a few drops into the water just for health reasons. It's really great with minor cuts and scrapes as well for your chickens, just to apply on minor wounds, help with infection and with healing. And it's great for things like bumblefoot. So if you ever had that on your chicken, which my chicken actually had that, I just soaked it in a bit of Epsom salt water with about 1 ml of iodine solution, and I let the foot soak in there for about 10 to 15 minutes, and I did that twice. And that's all I had to do. Is I just did it one day and I did it the next day one more time, as I only had time for that long, and the foot really healed up, and it was actually got quite large and was very pussy and pretty disgusting. But I had to open that up a little bit, help to get rid of some of that pus and clean that foot and that wound out really well. And the iodine and the salt together really helped to dry it out and really get rid of that infection. I find that iodine is really, really good for helping to get rid of infections and cleaning up wound areas in a very natural way. Also really good just to add a little bit into their water every now and then, just to help with supplementation and boosting their immune systems. Adding a little bit into their water can really help with their health and their reproduction as well. So iodine, I think, is another really good thing to have on hand for your chickens. Other than that, little extra stuff that I like to do for my chickens is I might get some garlic powder and oregano powder, and I like to just throw that into the food mix as well. I buy about 30 grams of oregano and 30 grams of garlic powder, and I mix those whole 2 bottles into 20 kilo bags of food. And just mix it thoroughly all the way in, and that normally I will also then ferment my feed, so that they're getting all the extra benefits of the oregano and garlic powder as just a little extra additive. But honestly, you don't need to do that as well. If you're feeding your chickens, letting them free range, or at least giving them lots of good scraps, clean water, and doing those 4 things that I told you, you will have such healthy, happy chickens. I hope that you have found these tips really helpful. Let me know if there's something else that you think is really important to have on hand for your chickens. That's all I use on my chickens, and they are very happy, healthy, and I have not lost one yet. Have a lovely day, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys again soon.